Hey everybody, welcome to another Geo Challenge of star trails and time lapses. Takes us to Central Virginia, just down the road from my house, to this amazing dead oak tree. And the question is, how long did that time lapse take? Okay, so before we do that, let's first take a look at the bell tower at Miller School. What direction do you think this is? And I made a star trail merging those time-lapse frames. This is a 10-second shutter speed at a 15-second interval. Here's a shot at the Chesapeake Bay. What direction is this? And this is a variable shutter speed because we're going from night to day, but it's a 20-second interval with 115 frames. And frames are just another word for pictures or images, 115 images. And now we're back to the dead oak tree. What direction do you think we're looking? There's some interesting clues here. Take a look at the star trails and the pattern that we get. And so this is 300 frames, the 10-second shutter and 12-second interval. Well, what is the difference between shutter speed and interval? Okay, so let's talk exposure. There are three things that determine how much light is allowed on the camera's sensor: the aperture, or how big the window of light is allowed to pass through the lens; the ISO, which is how sensitive the sensor is to light; and the shutter speed, or how long the light is allowed to hit the sensor. The camera's interval for a time lapse is how long it takes between consecutive shots. So, an exposure of 10 seconds and an interval of 12 seconds means the camera opens light to the sensor for 10 seconds, closes, and waits 2 more seconds before the camera opens light again. That's it. So if I take all of those 300 images and I drop it into a program called StarStax, I can compile all of those images and blend them into one image, and that gives us these incredible star trails. Okay, so let's bring it back to the original question, which was, how long did that time lapse take? So we know the time lapse needed 300 frames, and we know what the interval is. We also have the star trail image, and we could use an angle tool in order to calculate the amount of time elapsed as well. And so you can find this Geogebra app linked here in the bubble, but I also have it in the description. So find the 2 ways that you can determine the amount of time it took for me sitting outside in the middle of the night in order to get the time lapse and this star trail image. Can't wait to see what you come up with. Until next time.